my friends, welcome to another video. If you are new here, my name is Chris and I make videos about my small crochet business, the Enchanted Skein, and I am currently struggling with a few things. So I thought that maybe today we would just have a chill crochet and chat style video. Except I won't be crocheting. You can be crocheting. As a matter of fact, grab a project. Crochet, because I'm going to mostly be babbling in this video. I am not going to be crocheting because I am going to be putting the ends on Hookkeepers, as that is my current priority. And that is what I wanted to discuss today. I'm a little stressed, and I've mentioned in a few videos that I'm trying to do my best to balance my time amongst the different areas that I need to work in. And this is not my normal job. Obviously, I have a full-time job that's 8 to 5. I don't have to commute, thankfully. I work from home, so that time I can use. But you know, everybody has adulting and all of that good stuff. We all have the same thing, right? But I've been struggling with where to divide my time on all the things for Enchanted Skein. I thought it might help me to be able to kind of get that off my chest and discuss it with you. It always does. So that is why we're kind of doing this style video today. So I am going to kind of be looking down here and there so that I can work on these Hookkeepers while we talk through all of this. So there's 3 areas, I think, as far as big buckets that I would put things in for Enchanted Skein. The first would be YouTube. So obviously I make these videos every week, which is something I really enjoy. I also make a video every week for my Skeiniac level members called the Center Pull, where it's like every weekend behind the scenes what I'm working on, including making these and all that kind of good stuff. And so there's 2 videos a week as far as filming and editing, which can take some time. And then there are some things that kind of go hand in hand with YouTube in my mind. So areas where I'm trying to kind of diversify some of the income that comes in for Enchanted Skein. So for example, things like affiliate links. And for me, the 2 places where, as I'm starting to put together my financials, as we've discussed, that I've had that come from is the Etsy creator links. So they have a program where you sign up, and if I put a link to a pattern in my video and someone clicks on it, then Etsy gives me a small commission. Well, Etsy decided to move that to Rakuten marketing. And while the original one was annoying because you had to create each one at a time, it wasn't a big deal because each week I'm not making a ton of different patterns, you know, so I could go in, just get a link created of the pattern I want to talk about, put it in my video, and it would generate, you know, some income. I would get a check, I say a check, a deposit for, you know, 10 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever it is. I don't remember if they had a minimum, but you get what I'm talking about. So that's one thing, but they have now changed to Rakuten. And at first I was like, okay. And I started to look, and the process is a pain in the butt because you, number one, had to apply all over again, even though you've been doing this already. So I went ahead and filled out the application and everything. I got the approval, but that was kind of annoying because it's like, okay, I don't get that. But anyway, their links are horrible. The links for Etsy were nice and compact and easy for someone to look at in the YouTube description, but the links from Rakuten are just horrendous. They're so long. It doesn't make sense to me to make them that long. Like, why not make shorter links? Because people are gonna want to put them in things, you know. And yes, YouTube's a little bit different. You know how if on a website you can go and you see a word and that word is the URL and you click the word and go there, you know, YouTube's annoying in that you can't do stuff like that. So I guess if you were doing that in Rakuten, it would be okay. But for YouTube, it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't like it. So I had to take the time to kind of figure out, you know, what to do with that, and ended up deciding to just do the link where it's direct to Etsy and YouTube can use it as an affiliate link. I think that's supposed to pay less, but honestly, I'm not tracking it. It's just a little bit of extra that comes in. So I'm just going to do it that way and hope it works out okay. The other related thing there is that for the longest time, I have applied and been rejected and applied for an Amazon storefront because I have a Word document or a Google Doc where I put the photo of what I'm talking about and my Amazon affiliate link to the item in it so that I can share products and stuff like that. But a storefront would make it so much easier because you could just go to the storefront and I would have them all categorized and you could just go in. But I kept not getting into it. So out of the blue, I got an email from them saying, you have a storefront now. And I'm like, that's awesome, but I have to set it up. So those are just some things that kind of go along with YouTube, aside from filming and editing and thumbnails and all that good stuff that I want to dedicate time to. I just haven't been able to. So that's a little frustrating. But it's like anything else. It's coming up with what the priority is. But when it comes to actual videos, I have like a whole pipeline of ideas for videos and things that I've even promised you guys, like the safety eye video. But those take a lot of time, more so than, you know, any sit down video that I would do, because for the safety eyes, there's like 10 techniques that people ask me about. It's going to probably be 2 videos. And, you know, filming myself creating each of those safety eyes on camera so that I can show how it's done with an overhead and all that stuff, it is time consuming. And I've filmed several eyes being created, but I need to finish the ones that I want to include in the video, as well as do all of the editing to put everything together. So those videos just take a little longer. So where I might spend an hour or 2 editing a normal video each week, that one's going to take 5 hours probably, if I was to guess. I also am putting together the finance stuff, which I need to do both for my business and for that video. And I need to do some pricing. I need to take a look at all of the plushie pricing. I've mentioned that several times. You're probably getting sick of me saying it. I'm getting sick of me saying it. But I need to like make the time to actually do it. And I want to film that probably. So, you know, I've got to make some time for that one. And I'm 14 weeks away from my market at this point, which, I mean, guys, this is supposed to reduce my stress. What are you doing here? I'm just kidding. This is actually very helpful to just kind of get it all out. But yeah, so I'm a little stressed about the market because not only do I want to make stuff for the market, I need to make inventory. I need to reprice all of my inventory. And being that we're only 14 weeks away from the market, and the fact that I have been making on average 1 or 2 things a week, that has me worried about my inventory. And when it comes to the market, that's not the only thing I wanted to do for the market. Inventory is one thing, but this is going to be the Halloween market that is like the one I'm most excited about. I say every year, but this is only my 2nd year doing them. But it is the one I'm most excited about. And I wanted to do a bunch of stuff for my table. I wanted to do things a little differently. I'm going to be in the creepy corner like I was last year. So I really wanted to kind of elevate that whole thing. So yeah, it's just weighing on my brain that there are things that I want to do for that as well. And last but certainly not least is the shop. And I have the best problem anyone in my position could ever have, and that is just struggling to keep things in stock, which is great. And I mentioned that I needed to do some, you know, price evaluating and things like that, and I have done that. And I did go ahead and update the pricing on the website. And I've restocked. This is what I'm doing right now. I went ahead and listed these already on the site so that they're there. But I'm really trying to keep things stocked. Like, I don't mind being sold out here and there of something, but I want to have things readily available, especially with some things that are coming up. So like one of the main big ones is going live with Tammy, which is the day after this video comes out, which is crazy because I don't want anyone to hear about me that hadn't heard about me before and go click my links and go to my shop, and then there's like nothing there. So I have restocked these. I'm working on that obviously right now as we're speaking. And then the other thing I did was I created a build your own Hookkeeper product, and that took a little time to figure out as well. But this way I could offer more options. So I had a few people who reached out when I just had the regular ones up and were like, oh, can I get that one with silver instead, or whatever it may be. And at the time I couldn't really offer that because I made as many as I had. So if it was made with, you know, slate or silver, it was going to stay with slate or silver, because I would have had to completely take it apart and get more materials to put them back together. But this way, you know, someone can go online and they can pick the bead that they want, they can pick whatever spacer they want, they can pick whatever color hardware they want, and that way it's like exactly what they wanted. It also allows me to offer like more options, because I didn't want to have like 100 things made and them not sell. One example of that is one that I thought was incredibly beautiful, was the Mossy Meadow one. It's like this deep green and it's kind of a textured bead. And I thought that one was gorgeous, but it's not very popular. People don't seem to really like it, which is fine. But like this way, you know, I don't have products sitting around. I do have what you just saw, me creating some that are stock, but these are the more popular ones. So I feel like if anything, they're at least there. But what I had to do was kind of figure everything out. So the build your own, the price will change based on what you pick. So the base price of a Hookkeeper is $24.99. And then, you know, if you want the hardware that costs more, then it goes up $1 or whatever. It's not anything huge. They don't go any higher than like 30 bucks. But I did need to figure all of that out. And I needed to also make sure that if you're building one, it's the same price as if you bought it regular. You know what I mean? So if the particular one that I'm working on right now has silver hardware and rainbow beads, and you built it, it's the same price as if you just bought it off the shelf. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't messing anything up when it comes to all of that. So all of that is done and ready and on the shop now. So I'm just kind of making the stock to fill the ones that were already pre-built. And speaking of that live, the other thing is I've got to figure out how all of that works. I'm going to do that right after I finish filming this video, because I mentioned before I tried to go live with my members and that was a bit of a disaster. I want to use this camera that I'm using now, the DJI, to do my live, because I know a lot of people use their phone. I'm not a phone video person. I don't know. I'm not somebody who likes to use the phone. If I can use the computer for something instead, I use the computer instead. It's probably because I'm old, but that's just how I am. I'm not a phone girly, as they say. So I want to figure out how to properly use everything. When I figured it out, or I thought I figured it out and was good to go, when I actually went to go live, it didn't work. So about 3 tries in, I finally switched over to just using my laptop's camera, and I did not like that. I don't like the way it angles. I had to prop it up on like a tissue box and stuff. So I don't want to have to do that again. So I really want to take some time to figure out what that setup is. Do I have mad concentration face right now? Because I'm trying to get this wire in this bead and it's not wanting to go. Okay, back to the shop. The other thing that really makes me want to make sure that I keep things in stock is that there is now going to be a competitor to the Hookkeeper. I've been talking about this with my members, but basically someone is coming out with something that I believe is a competitor to the Hookkeeper. I knew this could happen, but I had hoped to maintain exclusivity of my idea for a little longer, but that is just not going to be the case. You know, can't control that. So, but I do want to make sure that I'm in stock. I'm not really concerning myself, or trying to not concern myself with whatever they're doing. I just want to make sure that I'm in stock and doing the best that I can do, you know, because if someone likes their content and supports them, and likes me and my content and supports me, and goes on to buy one from me and I'm out of stock and they're in stock, then, you know, what are they going to do? They're going to buy the one that's in stock, obviously. So I want to make sure that I have them readily available so that there is no reason for someone to, you know, have to go to a competitor. Obviously, there's going to be people who don't even know mine exists, and that's, you know, just going to be the way it is. This person has a lot larger audience than I do, probably 10 times as much as I do. So yeah, I just want to make sure that I have enough stock to support anyone who comes to the shop at any given time and wants to order it. And I think the build your own is really going to help me with that, because right now I will have the stock count of the ones that are pre-made, and then the build your own is based off of essentially a count of beads that I have. So if I know I have enough beads to make 20 rainbow ones, then there's 20 available to use the rainbow bead, and then any there, you know, combination thereof as far as hardware and spacers. I think it's really cool because it does accommodate some of the ideas that people had for color combos that they wanted. And I'm hoping that it kind of opens up for them to be able to get one in a color they like as well. So what's the plan? In talking through this with you all, I'm thinking that I need to maybe kind of, I don't know, look at a schedule or time box myself a little bit so that I am distributing my time amongst all things, because I do need to prepare for the market. I paid for the market. I do need to make sure I stay in stock. And obviously I do want to keep making my videos. I don't, you know, I don't want anything to suffer on behalf of the other, but I also know that I can't give 100% to 3 things. So I'm thinking maybe I should do something along those lines. Maybe I'll sit down and take a look at something like that and, you know, figure that out. But I think as far as this weekend goes, the plan is 100% clear as far as working on these Hookkeepers and getting everything set so that when I have the live, then I know at least there's stock for people who want to come explore the store, and just like, you know, I'm getting my videos out and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of the priority for this weekend. And then maybe I'll take a look at what I do in my schedule for the upcoming weeks. Like I said, there's 14 to the market. So maybe I'll create some kind of game plan for the next 14. The crazy thing is some of the things are so unknown, and that's something that for me as someone who's anal retentive and data driven, I don't know. I don't know if I'll get a Build Your Hookkeeper order, if I'll get 20 Build Your Hookkeeper orders. I don't know, and nothing has been predictable so far, which again, best problem ever to have, but also like, ah. And then the other thing is I took a bunch of photos of all the different color beads, because these were already up and they already have listings on the site. So restocking them is literally just changing the count after I've made them or when I'm ready to relist the count online. But for the Build Your Own, I needed photos. So I have kind of these pre-built ones, but I want to have photos of all the different beads available, the differences on the hardware, and the different spacers that you can choose from. So I took a bunch of photos last weekend of everything, but I need to sit and edit all of them and get them all the right size and everything to put in the listing that I created, because as of you watching this, that listing will be up on the shop. So that is the second priority after filming this video and getting these made. Then I will get started with figuring out what my next makes are going to be for the market. Which, speaking of makes, this week's make is so cool. I'm so excited about this one. I had the best time with this project. I finally got around to making Clubs the Clown by Creature Made. And I'll show you that in a few minutes. He's sitting over there staring at me actually right now. I'm gonna get cracking on finishing these Hookkeepers. I've babbled on probably for I don't know how long at this point. So I am gonna finish this up and I'll circle back to show you Clubs. All right, I decided I'm taking a break. I did the pastel rainbow ones. Unfortunately, I screwed one up, so that is a loss. I will have to kind of harvest those beads and put them on another set. I'm waiting for wire to come in, so I can't do anything about that. I'm just going to update the quantity on the site to match what I have, and take a break, like I said, and then I will come back and do the rest of those for the site. But I thought I would jump back on and show you clubs because I'm really excited to share that with you. Here is my Clubs the Clown. He's huge, so I will show him to you in parts. He is made with Parfait Chunky, 5.5mm hook, yarn under. The colors for Parfait Chunky, this is Goblin, this is Seal, Black, Mushroom, I want to say, and I don't remember the dark red name. But yeah, this is him. I did hand-painted safety eyes. They are actually glow in the dark. I'll show you that in just a second. This guy is incredible. He's got some 3D printed discs in his feet, and I do have weighted pellets in his legs, so he stands really well on his own on the table. I wanted to go kind of creepy with him, and that's why I chose these colors. I'm debating like dirtying him up a little bit with some craft paint, but I don't know. I haven't decided. As far as the pattern, this pattern's incredible. It's the way it's done is fantastic. The only thing I don't love about it is this little demarcation line here. There's a structure to his legs that you crochet and then you join everything and move up. And I don't like that. I have some thoughts on how I can avoid that in the future, but I'm not sure when I'm going to make this next. So I just made a couple of notes on my iPad for when I come back to it. But this guy is so cool, and it went by really quickly. Like when I started this for the make for the week, I was kind of like, okay, this one's going to be a journey. It's going to be a labor of love. And it was, but at the same time, it went by really quickly. I'm shocked. I don't know if I was just so excited to make it that it felt quick or what, but yeah, this is my make for the week. I absolutely love him. Let me turn the light off and see if I can show you his eyes. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Ah, I love it. The creature made patterns are awesome. I have several of them. I'm itching to dive into more. Again, just trying to balance, you know, do I want to make more small things? Do I want to make bigger things? I've got to figure that out. I'm going to pull my inventory and look at all of that. I think I'm going to do that at the 12-week mark. I don't know, I should probably do it sooner than later. But again, I'm struggling with all of that. So, but after I take a little break, I'm going to finish up these Hookkeepers so that that's all set. Work on figuring out my live, and then we will go from there. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm sorry that it wasn't like my normal videos with a lot of structure and all that stuff, but it does make me feel better to just kind of vent to you guys and talk it through. So I have some things coming to mind as far as a plan to try to structure myself, and I will circle back and let you know what that is. But if you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I want to give a special thanks to all of my members. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.